I'm Kent Greeno, and I was not lucky enough to be born here, but I am smart enough to stay here. We came here about 5 years ago. I was raised in a Marine Corps family, so we traveled all over the United States, and I've got to see this country from one end to another. And that's really one of the reasons I looked at running for Congress more so than a state or local office, is that I had experience and literally coast to coast and in 22 foreign countries, and felt that my service would be best spent in Washington, making a difference there. Our government is very seriously broken. We have drifted so far from what the enumerated powers envisioned by our founding fathers are, that they would scarcely recognize this nanny state that is enveloping our entire nation. We are spending ourselves into oblivion, and this is a course that cannot be sustained. There's nobody with a third grade education that believes it can be. It's a mathematical certainty. We just watched Greece drive over the cliff, and our administration, instead of hitting the brakes, is hitting the accelerator. We need to send somebody to Washington that has the courage to stand up and tell the American people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. To have the courage to stand up and take a cut at this government to the tune of not a 10% cut nor 20% cut, but we need to get to a 45% cut just to achieve zero. It's going to take an enormous amount of leadership and courage to do that, and I feel I have the background and experience to do that. The real test is, what difference can one person make? And I'll tell you, it's this. It's leadership. When you stand up there and you show them that you can do the job that you're hired to do, that you represent the people of your district, and you do it in a constitutional manner, the rest will start to follow. And that's something we haven't seen in decades. So it's time that we send a leader. I'd like to step up, volunteer for that job. Again, my name is Kent Greeno, and I'm running for the United States Congress, proudly from the 4th District of Tennessee. Thank you.
And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government, or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves.